Hello and welcome to Armourgate Radio Communications. You're welcome once again to Rise and Lead, the new playbook for young leaders. Our theme for Q4 2025. And I am your host, Adeola Gbadebo, and it's great to have you join me for episode 2 of our exciting new series. The topic that we're talking about today is mastery. Mastery. Building the skills that make you indispensable. Mastery. Building the skill that make you indispensable. Yes, just to remind you that we started the first episode last week, and where we talked about rising to take initiative, and leading is to take responsibility. Last week we explored the rise mindset, redefining leadership in the 21st century, and we learned quite a lot that leadership is not about title or position, but it's about taking responsibility, solving problems, and serving others. Today we move a step further into what truly separates dreamers from doers and thinkers from transformers. It is in the doing, not just in the dreams. One of the English adage is one that says that if wishes were horses, beggars would ride. Yes, if wishes were horses, beggars would ride. It's not enough to just make a wish. Are you willing to pay the price of doing that thing? So our focus today is on mastery, building the skills that make you indispensable. And we want to start with this opening quote by saying that the future belongs to those who learn more skills, combine them in creative ways. That's by Robert Greene. The future belongs to those who learn more skills and combine them in creative ways. So the core idea we want to talk about today is that in this fast-paced, tech-driven world, mastery is your currency. Mastery is your currency. It's not enough to be good. You have to be valuable. You have to be indispensable. You have to be exceptional, not just busy. Busy is a status, is a thing of status. But brilliance at what matters most. Don't just be busy, but be brilliant at what matters most. I want to take it again. Busy is a thing of status. Busy is a thing of status. The truth is, opportunities are attracted to competence. Whether you are an entrepreneur, a creative, or a young professional, your ability to learn fast, adapt quickly, and execute efficiently determines how far and how fast you will rise. It determines how far and how fast you will rise. So, how do we define mastery? Mastery. How do we define mastery? Mastery is not just skill, it's beyond skill. And so what I've done, I created, when I was thinking about this topic, and it came to me in different, versions, in different parts, and I'll be talking about the parts. So mastery is not perfection. It is progress in motion, a relentless pursuit of improvement. This is when we say better is better than best. I'll explain. When you are better, when you strive to be better at all times, yes, it means that at every junction you will be the best. But because you strive to be better every time, you move beyond being the best at one level to becoming the best at another level. So excellence becomes a journey, not a destination. Excellence becomes a journey, not a destination. So mastery is not perfection, it's progress in motion, a relentless pursuit of improvement. And agency means You are not waiting to be taught. You take initiative to teach yourself, to experiment, and to practice daily. Every great leader today, whether it's Elon Musk, Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, or Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, build their relevance not by luck, but by mastering specific skills that the world values. They didn't wake up to become who they are. They didn't jump into relevance. They took deliberate steps, and they focused on mastering those specific skills that really matters to the world. Let's dig into the habits and strategies that help you move from potential to proficiency and from competence to mastery. Building the skills that make you indispensable. Building the skills that make you indispensable. Number one, identify what matters most. Identify what matters most. You know that in a noisy world, every skill we move, not every skill is going to move your career forward. Not every skill. In a noisy world, there are a lot of skills that are bound and all that, but there are specific ones that you need that align with your purpose, align with your plans and goals. And those are the skills that you need to identify and ask yourself the question, what problems do I want to solve? What are the skills that will help me solve them faster and better? What does my industry or community need most right now? That's when you're trying to create a niche for yourself. What you want them to, what you want to be known for. Example, a communicator who learns data storytelling becomes 10 times more valuable in the age of analytics. Yes. A communicator who learns the act of data storytelling, it becomes 10 times more valuable in this age of analytics. A designer who learns AI tools becomes irreplaceable in the age of automation. A designer who learns AI tools becomes irreplaceable in the age of automation. 2, you need to adopt the 70-20-10 learning rule. 70-20-10 learning rule. What's the 70-20-10 learning rule? Yeah, so you have to do 70% through experience, doing real work, volunteering, experimenting. 20% through mentorship, learning from those who are ahead of you. 10% through courses, books, formal study, webinars, seminars, listening to podcasts, don't wait to be ready. Learn as you do. Don't wait to be ready. Learn as you do. Mistakes are part of the tuition fee of mastery. I'll take it again. Mistakes are part of the tuition fee of mastery. You make mistakes along the line, while as you correct your mistakes, you gain mastery. That's what you are paying. It's a price for mastery. It's a price for mastery. Adopt the 70-20 learning rule. Learn 70% through experience, learn 20% through mentorship, learn 10% through courses, books, formal study, webinars, seminars, and so on. Don't wait to be ready. Learn as you do. Mistakes are part of the tuition fee of mastery. Let's go to number 3. I remind you, number 1 was to identify what matters most. Identifying what matters most. The second one is the adoption of the 70-20-10 rule. Number 3 now is to stack your skills. Stack your skills. The most successful people today are not specialists in isolation. They are skills stackers. You may be a good communicator. Now combine it with tech literacy or digital marketing. You may be great with numbers, add storytelling, or leadership to it. The intersection of your skills is where your uniqueness and income explodes. The intersection of your skills is where your uniqueness and income explodes. You know, many of us think that we need, yes, in as much as we're trying to focus on one goal at a time, you need various skills that will help you with that goal. You need various skills that will help you with that goal. Now, I had to learn, even though I thought I was a good communicator and that I could speak my way into any interview, any presentation and all that, but I had to learn the how to use PowerPoint, how to design. It was a huge learning point for me to learn it. It was a learning lead rather. I had to learn how to use that and all that. So I also needed to learn how to research, get my data. So I learned what data science was, data analytics and all that. So because if I impute that into my presentation skills, my communication skills, then people not only just see my skills, they see the facts that I'm reeling out. And as they cross-check and they find out that these things are so, then I can tie a lot of things together. Suddenly you look like a master of your craft, and those are the things that really matter. Number 4, practice deep work. Practice deep work. Mastery doesn't happen with shallow focus. Block out distractions and dedicate focused hours to deliberate practice. I was speaking to someone that when I started out and wanted to get across from between my classroom teaching, classroom skills with the classroom, and I wanted to cross into consulting, I knew that there was a huge gap in between that, because the mentality of a teacher is far different from the mentality of a consultant. While the teacher is majorly operational, a consultant is at the level of strategy. It's a strategist. It takes a lot of thinking and tasking and problem solving, critical reasoning, creative ideas to be a good consultant. Because as a consultant, everybody thinks you have the answers. When they come to you, they expect to get the answers from you, and no excuse. No excuse. So when I was trying to study, I was consuming a lot of things. I consumed so many things, and for materials that were relevant to me. I had a small, it was like a shop I rented in a complex, but I used it as my office. Now I arranged my chair in such a way that I was backing the door. They're sliding doors, and I couldn't afford to buy real curtains. So what I had were underlays that we just pulled together. I can see people outside, but people outside cannot see me. But if my seats were facing the door, there will be a lot of distractions. As people who were passing, I would always be able to see them. So I turned it the other way around to avoid distractions, because I needed to study between the hours of 8 and 2 p.m. before I now take a break. And I did that every day, Monday to Friday, for months. Block out distractions and dedicate focused hours to deliberate practice. Turn off notifications on your phone. Set clear goals and your learning sessions. Track your progress weekly. Yesterday, about a few days ago, I had to turn off the notifications on my laptop. Each time I'm trying to study, notifications from WhatsApp are coming in, notifications from emails and all that. So I went into the settings and I blocked all the notifications. No notifications. Let me go and check them when I'm ready. Stop Stop interfering in my focus. Stop, coming in between myself and the focus. Turn off notifications. Ordinary people think merely of spending time. Great people think of using it. That's by author Schopenhauer.
Armourgate, founded in 2008 out of a desire to build transgenerational structures for organizations, institutions, and nations. We have worked with large businesses, international development organizations, and public sector ministries and agencies. Armourgate, our uniqueness is that we do not just work for you, we work with you. For example, we do not leave you to the task after sourcing talent that will help the new hire settle into robust leadership development programs. We are technical experts in advising and supporting institutions on strategy and leadership, artificial intelligence, strategic human resource management, public sector reform, finance, audit and tax, FAT, and strategic communications. We do all this and more out of a desire to transform nations through institutions and organizations. For further inquiries, email contact@thearmourgate.org or call +234 810 999 6666, +234 807 957 4151, and +161 0504 6026. www.thearmourgate.org. Armourgate, building to endure and transforming nations through institutions and organizations.
Number 5, document and showcase your growth. If you open my laptop, on the desktop of my laptop, you'll see folders and folders and folders for different organizations that I've worked with, that I still work with, for different organizations that I consult for, and a lot. My reading, my my study part, everything. So I have a folder for everything. I have to learn how to organize it, because I found out that a lot of times I had to look for files that I needed. But now, so I document everything. So there are things, sometimes I go into the archives and I'm looking at some of the proposals that I've written, some of the jobs that we have done, and I look at it, and sometimes, when I'm talking to younger people, I can show them my track record. I can show them, I tell, come sit down with me, and I show them documents and ever, so I can showcase my growth. You need to showcase your growth. One of the things that will help you to do that is through documentation. Don't just learn. Show what you learned. Show what you've learned. Create a portfolio. Start a blog. Record short videos. Short insights on LinkedIn, on Twitter. Documenting your journey builds your digital credibility and opens doors you never imagined. I write for every recording that you hear from me. Every time I come and you get this broadcast, know that there was a script behind it. I had a script. I documented everything I wanted to say. It was written down. It was written down. Everything was written down. So what's the listener outcome? What do I want to achieve at the end of this episode? At the end of this episode, I would like you to understand what the mastery process, that mastery rather is a process, not an event. You won't just jump there. It's not a wedding ceremony that you wake up one morning and just attend. Yes, it's a process. You start from somewhere and begin to build and build and build and build and build. Even when people think that you become a master in that field, you're still building, because excellence is a journey, it's not a destination. You also need to be equipped with a framework to identify and build your most valuable skills. You need to be equipped with a framework to identify and build your most valuable skills. You need to commit to daily progress through deliberate practice, learning from mentors and showing your work. Deliberate practice, dedicate to process. to progress. You know, every day between the hours of 9 and 12, every day is maybe dedicated to your personal study, and you're studying and nothing can change it. And every day within that time, everyone who comes, everyone knows that you will not attend to them between that time, because it's your personal study where you grow yourself, you know. So I have a call to action, and I want to know that people are really listening and taking notes, and they are really, you know, practicing what we're preaching, what we're telling people to do. That people are really practicing them. So I want to do a call to action. I want to create a mastery challenge, and the task is simple. The task is pretty simple. Mastery challenge. So what you do is, so you identify one skill that would double your effectiveness in your current role or field. So what you need to first do is you take, you write down your current role, where you work, what do you do there, and you now begin to identify the skills that you require, and then now look at the skills that will help you to double your effectiveness in your current role. So what you do after that is to create a 14-day plan, 2 weeks plan, to practice or to improve that skill. Create a 14-day action plan to practice or improve that skill. Number 3 is to document your journey. Post your progress online, or keep a private log. Send your progress and updates and questions to contact@thearmourgate.org, or you can send to us on WhatsApp +231 810 999. Excuse me, I'll take that again. +234 810 999 6666. Pardon me. +234 810 999 6666. You want to share your progress with us? You might just be featured in our next week's broadcast. I'll look through all the submissions, and then I'll pick out the best, and we'll have a joint, we'll have an interview, and we'll invite you to the broadcast, and we can have a discussion and tell us what you've learned, and then we'll project that on the broadcast when maybe the next broadcast or 2 broadcast time. I have a quote here, very interesting quote. It said, don't wish it were easier. Yes, don't wish it were easier. Wish you were better. Don't wish for less problems. Wish for more skills. Thank you, Jim Ron, for that wonderful quote. Don't wish it were easier. Wish you were better. Don't wish you were for less problems. Wish for more skills. I like to conclude this appraisal and this broadcast this way. Now, one of the things I found out that in this new world, the leaders who rise aren't the loudest, they're the most capable. It's not about being an empty barrel. It's about being a real value. Be really valuable. Be really valuable. The leaders who rise aren't the loudest, they're the most capable. They learn faster, they adapt better, and they deliver value consistently. They keep delivering value. Value delivery becomes their lifestyle. When you invest in mastery, you are investing in your independence. You are investing in your credibility and your legacy. You become a problem solver, not a problem pointer. You stop competing and start leading. So keep learning fast. Stop leading well, and remember, keep learning fast, keep leading well, and remember, mastery is your greatest form of freedom. Keep learning fast, keep leading well, and remember that mastery is your greatest form of freedom. That's all we have today on today's episode of Rise and Lead, where we've explored mastery, building the skills that make you indispensable. Join me on next Thursday for the third episode, Leading with Emotional Intelligence, the human side of leadership. That's a topic I just wanted to whet your appetite, for next week. And we'll uncover how empathy, communication, and emotional control shape influence in today's workplace. You can reach us at contact@armourgate.org, as said earlier, or our WhatsApp line, +234 810 999 6666. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn, and we're at Armourgate. And then you can also look for us on our channel on YouTube, and you need to subscribe and turn on notifications, where there are lots and lots of resources that you can explore for your free resources that you can listen to and can help you to run a better cause. So this broadcast comes up every Thursday, 5 p.m. West African time, and 12 noon Eastern time. So the best leaders are learners first and legends later. Rise and lead. I'm your host, Adeola Gbadebo, reminding you to learn fast, lead well, and leave a legacy. God bless you. See you next week.